This is a short one. Names changed for privacy. I went to a tattoo shop in my area, with a photo of the tattoo I wanted. It was one my dad had gotten to honor my past grandfather whose father also had it. But the point is, it was important to me that the tattoo looked exactly as it did in the photo. I get to the shop, I explain everything, I pay, get the tattoo, and we're done. I think it looks awesome, everything is great. Until a few weeks later when I show my great-grandmother the tattoo. She's ecstatic, grabs my arm to look at and compliment it, then asks, "Who's AJ?" I ask her what she means, and she points out on the tattoo where the initials A and J or maybe T were hidden into the tattoo. I'm instantly pissed, as my artist's name is Alice Trevor. She tries to assure me it's no big deal if I hadn't noticed it till now, but I still reached out to the artist sort of irritated. They told me the style of art I got is called traditional and it's pretty trad for all artists who do that style to do it. I demanded a partial refund and they refused, so I complained to the owner who made the artist give me a full refund. Now the artist is running a full smear campaign, talking about moving shops, and all kinds of crap. My sister says I'm an asshole for pushing the issue, but I feel like, at the end of the day, I told you exactly what I wanted and you didn't do that. Ada? I, 20 meters, has two younger siblings, Joe and Jill. They're twins, both 18 and graduating high school this year. Jill is my parents' favorite, because they've always wanted a daughter, while Joe is their scapegoat, because I guess he's the bonus baby they never actually asked for. I'm mostly better off than Joe, as I'm the oldest grandson from both sides of my family, almost all of whom are just as blatant as my parents are about their favoritism. I felt really bad for Joe, so I did what I could to make him feel less alone. Like when Jill got to go shopping with mommy and daddy, I took Joe skating with my friends. When our parents were too busy watching Jill's kitty pageant, I dragged my best bud to sit through Joe's elementary school musical. Small things like that. It all started as pity moves, but soon my friends pretty much liked Joe better than me, while Jill's princess syndrome got in her head, so now I spend more time with Joe because I simply like him better than Jill. Never said it out loud, but I don't make it a secret either that I prefer not to spend my time with entitled brats. Anyway, like I said, they're graduating soon. They both already had their choice of college, accommodations, etc. Jill's going to a UNI in SF, fully funded by our parents, unsurprisingly. Joe's going to the same UNI as mine in Seattle, but different campus just 20-ish minutes away. He got a full ride, which apparently makes him ineligible to get any financial help from his own parents. This is also hardly surprising, so I made some calls to ask around, see if anyone is hiring next fall. I did this while on fast time with Joe. I was reassuring him that we'll find him a job that don't suck and pays enough, that he's better off without dad's money anyway because we both know it comes with strings attached, that this way, mom and dad wouldn't be able to stick their noses into his purchases. I got him to feel better about the whole thing and logged off. I guess Jill overheard, because the next day she sent me texts after texts demanding I help her find jobs as well because she doesn't want dad nagging her. When I told her, politely BTW, that I don't know anyone in SF, and that she'd get more help from mom and dad, she blew up, saying all these things about me favoring Jill over her, which, yeah, it's true. I love both of my siblings, but I don't particularly like Jill. It's not like she's making herself likable, though, so Ada? One of my coworkers who I had thought was friendly but that was it, he is married, sent me some inappropriate texts at like 3 a.m. on St. Patrick's Day weekend. Asking me to come over and have some fun and saying that he had been into me for a while and knew I felt the same. I don't, I'm a lesbian but not out at work. He also sent me a naked selfie that, luckily, cut off right before his dick but, dang it was close. When I saw them, I was out with friends and was like what the fuck. Okay, this is a Monday problem. I have a really strict rule with myself that I don't do work, think about work, or answer messages about work outside of 9:5 mf. I also don't use my personal phone for work stuff. If someone from work calls or texts and it's not one of the co-workers I see as a close friend and trust to not talk shop on the weekends, I'm not answering. And I included dealing with this fucker as a workday problem so I ignored his message. He sent me several later, first saying sorry he was drunk. Then saying he hadn't said it how he wanted to but he was still into me and had a feeling I felt the same. On Monday, I wrote him an email on the work email saying, "Hi coworker. I'm writing to follow up on your messages from the prior several days, see attached. Please only contact me through work channels during regular business hours. I do not use my personal number with colleagues. Additionally, I found the content of your messages unwelcome and inappropriate. Please only contact me regarding work. Op." I didn't send the email to HR but I did blind CC my personal email so I'd have a copy just in case. And he got really mad. He texted me back saying I had crossed a line attaching his picture to a work email. Was I trying to get him fired? I screenshot the text too and attached it to an additional email saying as per my prior email, please only contact me about work matters, and only on my business email or Slack. He stopped texting me but he came to my desk to speak to me and before he said anything I asked, is this a work question? And he said I knew what it was about, and I said that I wasn't available for a discussion at the moment. If he did need to meet with me for a work matter, could he please schedule a meeting on the calendar and include a read-ahead to brief me on the topic of the meeting? He walked off. I feel like I was a bit of a bitch in dealing with it when maybe I could have told him to cut it out by text. But I'm also fucking sick of dealing with this shit at every job, and I feel like my patience to use my own time and energy to gently ask guys to cool it is worn thin. And I want to set the precedent that I won't engage at all, outside of work hours or work accounts. Ada for sending that email. Edit. Looks like the overwhelming majority of you all think I need to go to HR to get ahead of this. I was considering holding off to see if he cools it himself, but the way he came to my desk after being told off twice makes me think that's probably not the best idea. I'm gonna forward the emails to HR, write up the conversation we had at my desk, and ask them to meet with me to discuss. Edit 2. I sent an email to HR this afternoon and they called a meeting with me the same day. I told them everything, though there wasn't a lot to say that wasn't already captured in the emails. And they assured me that I wouldn't have any more contact with him at work. They are going to meet with him tomorrow. It's still not decided if he will be fired or if he will be moved to a different position where he won't have any reason to speak to me. I have a feeling it might depend on how he handles the conversation with them. I do feel good about emailing HR. I feel like along with myself, I've possibly helped out other women by starting the paper trail if it turns out to be something he's done more than once. Edit 3. Holy shit. I went out to happy hour with a few of my female friends in my field to vent. And one of my friends told me she'd met this same guy at a professional conference, given him her business card with her phone number, and he sent her a nasty pic too. She just replied saying that that was inappropriate and she had a husband, and he said something about her husband not having to know. So she had her husband call him and leave a voicemail telling him to fuck off, and then she never heard from him again. I asked her if she'd be okay sending screenshots of the text exchange to my HR contact. She was, and she even wrote that she met him at a professional conference where he was representing the company. She gave him a business card for networking reasons, and he sent her an unsolicited lewd picture. And that she needed her husband to intervene to stop the harassment. I haven't checked my email again. I'm trying to leave work at work and not dwell on this anymore tonight. But it seems like HR will have even more to go off before meeting with him. Edit 4. He was fired. I don't know a lot of details. I have a follow-up meeting with HR soon, but my coworkers told me he was escorted out of the building this morning. One of my coworkers who sits near the HR office said they heard him screaming at the HR staff during his meeting this morning. It's crazy how stuff escalated honestly. Just last week I thought he was a chill guy. I owe a thank you to everyone who told me to report this too. I'd been on the fence at first. But I feel like stuff was gonna escalate either way and I feel a lot safer not having to see him every day at work. Edit. Please stop sending me chat messages. I cannot keep up with all of the stuff I'm seeing. Yes, even if you're about to say I know you said don't message me, but years ago I got really into housey plants and started to collect them. Over the years I've had up to 70, but whittled my collection down to about 35, just the ones I really love. My niece Jenny, 14F, has developed an interest in plants and will come over and we will talk about them, and she helps with propagation and repotting. I had to go out of town for 2 weeks to take care of some work stuff, so I asked Sil and Jenny if they could plant it for me. I told Jenny I would pay but also give her a few cuttings as a trade-off. They agreed, and when they came over I gave a tour and explained the care needed, and also showed off a few prized plants. Sil asked how much a few of them ran me and I did share. This didn't seem weird, BC the family knows, and I've gotten some plants as gifts. Well, I returned from my trip and was horrified. They watered and gave the right amount of light, but they also decided to give a lot of my plants haircuts. Big ones. My prized Cebu blue potas mother plant was destroyed. The climbing one too. My Mandula potas had been done the same. My golden that I trained up my stairwell. My string of pearls, hearts, and ruby necklace all destroyed. My silver stripe philodendron. The worst was that my pink princess philo had been reduced to 2 leaves. And my albomanstra is down to 3. I don't even think they got nodes necessarily. These plants are expensive and prized. I basically broke down, and when they came to meet me to give back my key I screamed and screamed at them. Jenny started crying, saying I said I would give her cuttings, so she thought it was okay. I screamed at her to go home and get what she stole from me and bring it back now, because she knew I didn't mean she could destroy my fucking plants. Sil got between us and said what's done is done. I'm sorry, I don't know why my one edit is gone. AHHH and half the original post. Please read my comments. I said no way, you're returning everything. Jenny said mom already sold most of them on Marketplace. I lost it and just screamed and screamed at them until Jenny was crying and her mom got in my face and told me I was having a tantrum over plans. I told her to get the fuck out of my house and don't ever come anywhere near me or my home again. I called my brother, Sil husband, and he was shocked and said they told him I said it was all okay. He brought me the stuff she hadn't sold yet and apologized. I told him I never ever want either of them in the same room as me again. They're horrible, awful, irredeemable people, and that I hope they both burn in hell where they belong. He told me he gets that I'm upset but that I'm taking it too far and that family means not holding grudges. I told him to leave, and I cried for the rest of the day. I am posting because I need to know if my edict is over the top and if I'm overreacting. So Ada for telling them that they are no longer welcome in my home and not even wanting them in the same room.